Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 131 for September 18th, 2024. I am Nemesis, and I'm joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
A couple things happening in the last few weeks, including, once again, more sad news.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of having to do this. Emi Shinohara, voice actress, died at 61 years old. She's probably most well known for being the voice of Sailor Jupiter back in the original Sailor Moon series.
Yep.
Yeah, due to unknown medical reasons. Again, that whole kind of thing. But yeah, again, another actress dying in her 60s. Man.
Yeah, that was two people. Only one of them anime.
That's just
though.
that's just Japanese voice actors. Man, this year has been bad for this.
Yeah, this month, God.
Yeah.
Past couple of weeks.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Now, he was 91.
Yeah.
Wasn't exactly young anymore, but
thing,
still
a lot of the things
sucked.
we grew up with, our generation grew up with, we're going to start seeing a lot of the people pass on.
Oh God!
In the next couple of years, over the next couple of years.
That's just the way time works, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was opening with that bit of news, so I'm just going to move on.
Get the bad stuff out of the way.
Yeah. The other thing was I saw this. I don't have a whole lot of super lot of information because I didn't really get a chance to look into it too deep. But apparently there's a bit of a leak again with an anime studio, Cloverworks. Like some stuff leaked out about from some of the projects Cloverworks is supposed to be working on, including some confirmation about some manga getting adaptations, where people were very excited about because like no one expected it to happen. Like I know several Yuri manga are getting adaptations, which people were surprised about. But
all the Yuris should get adaptations.
Yeah. Still nothing about Bloom 2 Season 2, though. But apparently they haven't officially announced yet, but they apparently are working on Frieren Season 2.
Good.
And because a lot of the staff who work on Frieren Season 2 also worked on Bocchi the Rock Season 2 is being put off till after Frieren is done.
Oh.
So Season 2 of Bocchi the Rock is happening as well. It has also not been officially announced, but apparently it's going to be happening.
We just have to wait a little longer.
Yeah, and I believe that...
Yeah, and honestly, I would rather the staff to work on one and then work on the other than try and force them to do both and have both suffer.
Yeah,
not
apparently
pull a
it's a lot of senior staff, particularly like the showrunner type people. So like they're the ones like they're working on Fury and Bocchi the Rock, and they don't want to split their attention or have to get a whole new separate staff. Which who knows what they do for a whole new different whole different set of people in charge.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the thing. Watanari was the one I think Cloverworks is supposedly going to be working on, which is a Yuri manga. It's going to be translated as "There's no way I can have a lover," or maybe there is. And apparently, I remember reading it, and apparently, I remember how quickly there's a bunch of complicated love triangle nonsense going on. So that's fun, including fake dating and whatnot. Oh boy. So I'm hoping to see that
fake dating.
Hopefully, it doesn't wind up like Whisper Me a Love Song. And in the final bit of news, I'm talking about this. That Transformers thing came out with the Studio Trigger.
Yes, the PV promotion.
Yeah, well, they didn't mention though. At least as far as I tell, it was it's a bump. By the way, Bump of Chicken song as well. So hey,
Bump of Chicken. Yeah.
So I said I'd talk about it. So yeah, it's fantastic to look at.
It's good.
It's really fun. The biggest criticism I could really throw it at is basically this sure is a lack of animation for something that's supposed to be animated.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's great. And part of it just simply is like, there are so many deep cuts into Transformers stuff in there, like packed in there. It's like people who are super knowledgeable of Transformers. I don't want to say I'm super knowledgeable. I do have a degree of knowledge about it. It's like, wait, that's from what? They referenced that? That sort of thing. Apparently, seemingly the only thing they didn't reference in any real way was Rescue Bots and Bot Bots. Mostly because those are primarily Hasbro things and not Takara things.
Right.
They don't, as far as I know, though, neither of those have made any sort of official appearance in Japan. But they referenced Beast Wars and Beast Machines, even very brief thing in Beast Machines. They've made some deep cuts, like with hey, this one part of this franchise, it's really much a Japanese only franchise because it was released outside of Japan, but in Japan it's known as a Transformers thing, but outside Japan it was a completely separate thing. Here it is. And just like, oh, here's these guys. Like, wait, those guys? It's like, oh, here's this thing from Cyberverse. Like, just here it is. It's like, oh, okay. Just everywhere, like these big old lineup shots of like all the different leaders and everything. And it was just really good. Like, heck, they even kind of made a possible sly reference to KISS players. Very sly reference.
I was
Like,
wondering about that one.
It's very sly, kind of maybe not a reference, but because they showed Marissa Fairborn kissing Dirk, what's his face from the thing, and Marissa Fairborn was one of the Kiss players, and well, she's about to kiss him, and so it might be a sly reference there.
Yeah.
There's even one thing people are like, "What the hell's with the flowers?" And people figure out, "Oh, it's from Zone." Finally, it's like that's from Zone. Zone. They reference Zone. Yeah. So it was wonderful. The song was wonderful. It was one of those things. Another thing was a lot of fans, including myself, were kind of had the moment of like, why am I getting emotional over this?
Nostalgia. It's
not just nostalgia. There's something deeper than that, and it's like it's hard to explain because like something about this is making me real emotional. I don't know why, but I think part of it just one good song, and also just simply you can kind of just feel the love pouring out of this thing from Trigger.
You can tell that they're doing something with a passion for what they're doing, and that they enjoy it at a similar level that you do.
It's like the reminder, hey, you remember why you like this thing?
Which is a modicum of nostalgia.
You just got to remember, because particularly with that, as of late, like the fandom has been really negative.
Yeah.
And so this thing was like this one moment where like most of the fandom just came together and like, man, this is great, isn't it? Most of us, because there's still always a person or two.
It's anime.
That's how the thing is like, everyone has that one friend they don't like, that doesn't like anything.
Yeah.
It shows them drinking water. I don't like this. It's water. But yeah, it's great, and it's out there. It's the original actual copy of it on YouTube is geolocked to Japan, but of course it's been multiple uploads. It's not hard to find.
It's not hard to find.
And it looks great. So definitely check that out if you haven't. Yeah, and it's hopefully now, now we're really, all the Transformers fans are now just trying to will a Trigger-led Transformers anime into existence. So, lend us your strength. We're trying to make it happen.
It smells like squid.
So yeah, that was wonderful to see. And I've watched it like a dozen times now. It's just...
Of course you have.
It's good. So we're going to move on to a different thing.
Moving on to our main story.
Moving on to the main story. We went back to a pretty important but pretty old anime now.
God, 2000.
Yep. It started in 2000, ended in 2001, which we were considering how many episodes that took a while.
That took a while to get through it. Almost a whole year.
Fooly-Cooly, or FLCL or Footy-Cooly.
Footy-Cooly.
Yep. This is a big thing. Before we get into the details, overall, I do like it, but also know that it's just simply like not super easy to parse, and also it's like I'm not sure if it really even matters if you parse it.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to. I think it's just supposed to be a just kind of out there, kind of crazy, just kind of a fun. What the heck was this? Just a trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how do I get in? How do you talk about this?
There's no real.
It's hard to latch onto any of it because
you're not supposed to
It's like, okay, I get this part, but what about this part? But anyway, it's like there's a kid. I think he's 12 years old. Yeah, Naota Nandaba, and he's just a 12-year-old kid. He's just a regular 12-year-old kid, and one day he gets a weird growth on his forehead, and then things go weird from there. Well, actually, mostly because a woman runs into him on a moped.
He gets run over by a moped, then gets beamed by her guitar,
and then it gets a weird growth on his forehead, and things get weirder from there.
Yeah.
The woman on the moped, Haruko.
Yep.
Weird pink-haired lady, carries his left-handed bass, and then also there's a robot, Kanti, the robot who comes out of his forehead. By the way,
yep,
yeah. And also he was hanging out with a teenager, high schooler girl named Mamimi.
Yep, and who's actually supposed to be dating his brother,
his older brother, who's currently in America, and I think it's implied that it's because of baseball.
Yeah,
but which makes sense. At the time there was a lot of Japanese baseball players trying to make it into MLB.
Yep, Ichiro.
Yep, Ichiro Suzuki.
Yep, and also space pirates.
Yeah,
don't forget the space pirates.
Which it's like one of those things. It's like it's practically inconsequential, and yet it's also like central to the whole thing. If that makes any sense, which probably doesn't, but that's Fooly Cooley.
That's Fooly Cooley.
It makes no sense, and yet also makes perfect sense.
It fits right in.
Because, it's like, so all of a sudden, like, the robot comes to his forehead, and now there's, like, weird things happening, and, have to fight them, and then there's also like...
comes out of his forehead.
Yeah, other things come on his forehead. He keeps getting growths on his head. And he's also really, there's also another girl in, like, his age, in his class, who was Eri. Yeah, Eri.
Yeah.
Eri Ninamori.
Ninamori.
So, like, basically 3 girls in his life, and, like, one is age, one is a bit older, and one who's way older. And it's like, he's, kind of weird thing. He's 12 years old, and the weird growths, and keeps trying to hide it. It's really just awkward, and, what does this seem like to you?
This entire show is just a giant puberty analogy.
Yeah, because, like, the growth in particular looks very phallic.
Oh, yes.
Everything time the growth, except for that one time where it started, like, grew on the girl, which, like, I'm wondering about that because she starts getting stomach pain. It's like, is that actual stomach pain, or is it supposed to be representing her puberty, which cramping and whatnot?
Yep.
Because it's kind of like one of those things. And then as time goes on, they keep revealing more and more stuff. Like, oh yeah, Haruko's an alien.
She introduces herself as an alien, but in a way that's like seems like a joke.
Weird. Oh, she's actually an alien.
But yeah.
And she's here because she wants the power of medical machina.
The space pirate that was against them.
Well, yeah,
so like medical machina is like this big giant conglomeration, like the big evil corporation, but they're also aliens, and their entire thing is that they're flattening planets for some reason, and that's why their big office building is a giant iron.
Yeah.
And then there's this space pirate dude who's fighting them.
Yes. And
he's like super powerful, and that's who Haruko is going after, trying to catch him. But that's because she's in love with him.
But also she wants his power,
and also wants his power. But now suddenly this kid has his power, and it's weird.
Yeah,
and it's also the robot is also the space pirate, but also isn't. Can't he?
Yeah,
This
is the whole thing, like and now it has dad come on. May have had a bit of fling with Haruko, but also he was replaced briefly with a robot version of himself, and he was like desiccated inside a cat cupboard.
But he was fine though. He got better.
And then eventually we get a guy named Amuro.
Amuro. Who apparently knew Haruko?
Because he's trying to fight her because she's just a selfish woman who's just trying to take power, and he's trying to defend the Earth, and it's implied that they've met before, and he's in love with her and never was able to let her go.
Yep. Also eyebrows.
Yeah. They also said massive eyebrows, and that's the thing, because she makes a thing about how, his whatever's always been small. Get it?
Also, apparently the eyebrows are special, and they keep things from growing out of your head.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which at one point he's like, where are my eyebrows? Where are my eyebrows?
Yep.
Yeah. They're very, very strange. But, like, it looks great.
Yeah, when we get into that one, the animation is...
They do some really fun things.
Obviously, this was like just a chance for the animators to just have fun.
Yeah, it was, hey, guess what? Gainax.
Yep.
Who did later, actually the Production ID does the later stuff, but but Gainax did the original, and then the IG bought the rights to it when Gainax, imploded.
Yeah.
Or started to implode. It took them a while. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. They do some CG really well. Like there's a bit of a slow down time thing where it's like they did the spinning around where like Mimi is like all shocked looking, and in the middle of Naruto being smacked with the base and everything. And they also have a little joke, like the little thing with the manga panels.
Oh, that whole thing. And
they made a joke about that. There was several times they just break the fourth wall, including like right after they're getting hit with the base. They're just sitting in a bus or something, and break.
Yeah,
like this implies they're break or whatever. It's like what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very strange thing. And it's hard to really talk about because of it. Because we want to get those major things. It's okay, we got it, but it's so hard to latch on to anything because it's so just mild. A lot of stuff's brought up in such a way it's clearly important, but they say nothing about it.
Right.
Like, oh, this whole space pirate thing's barely. It's like it's treated like as a not like an insignificant thing, but also like the central core premise of the thing. But also,
why she's there in the first place? Yeah,
because I mean, in the end is like Naota defeats everything. He gets the power of the space pirate guy, and then like defeats the big bad thing, and then she's mad and she says, "Well, he ran away. Now I have to go chase after him." So she leaves, and like
then she shows up again. And...
Tomsk. That's what it was. Tomsk. That was the name of the space pirate guy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and like she has to go chase after him now, but like he also professes his love for her, even though she's like supposedly like 30 something.
Yeah, she lies about her age multiple times and has different ones.
But anyway, she's supposed to be way older than him, and also but he like and kisses her, and then that's all the thing, and then of course you got the high school Miami just pretty clearly using Naota as a weird stand-in for his older brother.
Yep.
But basically stringing him along without actually committing to anything.
Yep.
And then you have Eri, who's clearly got a bit of a thing for him too, but of course, they're 12 years old, so it's kind of that weird.
Cooties, we can't admit this.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's...
She's a little more, is that thing, at that age, girls start to kind of mentally mature a little faster than boys do.
Yeah, it's like she kind of like, feels like she's kind of like denying it.
Yeah. So it's and then of course, it's the robot.
Canty.
He just kind of shows up before he's fighting things. Then he also transforms to a gun thing, but he just kind of winds up just kind of being a housemaid essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and then there's what how do you pronounce her name? The Amurano's assistant who obviously has a thing for him.
Katsurubami.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't know. She seemed kind of grossed out when she drank his drink accidentally. She accidentally drunk it and then realized what she did and just not embarrassment, just grossed out. I don't think she actually has much of a thing for him. Although she seemed to have much of a thing, some of a bit of a thing for the robot.
That may be what it is.
I remember because the robot, she's like freaked out shooting the robot, and the robot's just holding a hand out to help her up, and she's just kind of, oh, okay.
yeah, I think that may be what it was I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very strange thing. On top of that, so animation-wise, it's
amazing.
It's amazing. Like, they do a lot of wonderful things, but one of the other things we have to talk about is the music.
The music. That's what
holy crap! It is a big thing.
The music. Wait, who was the artist on that one? I think it was just like one artist.
The Pillows.
Yeah, the Pillows.
They pretty much did most of it, and it's like really well done on that part.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's almost like I can't remember. Did you see Heavy Metal?
Which one was Heavy Metal?
That was an anthology series with basically heavy metal rock and like boobs and aliens and the little green glowing ball thing. It was basically that. It feels kind of almost like that sort of thing in that sense. It's like it's primarily driving forces, almost like bit of a music video with a somewhat of a plot to it.
Yeah, the plot is thin because it's there as the means for the medium to be delivered to you. The actual thing that the real reason that this exists is a medium of delivering amazing, cool animation and music, and the plot's just there to help it get to that point.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think that you could call it surreal.
Yeah. The other thing you can argue is like the thing is an analogy for puberty, and if we're looking at this from the perspective of a 12-year-old just going into it, at that point, all the hormones and stuff in your body are changing and everything becomes confusing. So this is fitting. So it's like, this is what it kind of feels like.
This is actually what puberty's like.
This is kind of like what things are like. Yeah. All these things are just, everything's changing and yeah. Yep.
It's just,
this is what it feels like to chew 5 gum.
Yeah. It's just kind of, how do you, like, one of the things is like there's also clear, like, is again 2000, so like a lot of weird influences from American stuff, including like I know there's a South Park part.
Oh God, that was,
and again,
that
the Matrix
caught me out of
the bit when again that initial thing where he got hit with the bass. That was very clearly
spin was
slow mo.
Yeah,
bullet time Matrix that would just come out, but it's like one of those things. It's like how do you put it? It's like it's super deep, but also it's shallow as a puddle. That's it, and it's a nutshell. It's like,
and yes, both at the same time.
And it's like it's worth watching
Oh,
solely
heck yes.
because it's a thrill.
Oh, it is.
It's 6 episodes of just unabashed, just weirdness.
Yeah.
And beautiful animation and amazing music, and who cares about the plot?
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's
who
serviceable.
cares?
It's serviceable, and it's good enough.
It's barely
nothing
coherent
bad.
at times, but at the same time, you don't really care because it's just you're just there, and it's like that was a trip.
Yeah.
And
the plot isn't bad. The story isn't bad. There's nothing bad about it. It's just enough that it needs, and that's it. It doesn't take it any further. It's just there to
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, and also you got the whole thing with like the weird ED with like it was just they took the real life footage of the Vespa just going through
Oh yeah.
like city in Japan. I'm not sure which one exactly. Just it's an odd show and worth watching just for the sheer oddity of it.
Just for the experience.
The odyssey of it.
The odyssey. Yeah, just for the experience. It's such a good watch, and I would highly recommend it.
Also want to emphasize this is the original.
Yeah, not the later ones.
There are later sequel series that came out. There's 5 of those. No, 4 of those. 4 of those. There's 4 of those that came out as well. They're also pretty short. We may get to those at some point in the future, but for now we wanted to focus on this specific thing because it was the original, and there was a massive time gap between the original and the later series. We didn't want to try to do it as a whole one big thing.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what else to say really.
Yeah, like what else can you say?
I will just say Haruko is voiced by Mayumi Shintani. Yeah, who's let's see what's recent things she's done. I'm just gonna look this up. Yep, Grid. Yeah, that's what it's Promare. That's what Lucia Effects and Promare.
Also,
she doesn't do
Egg.
a whole lot of Haruko. Oh yeah, no, Jakazuri and Kill la Kill. Not surprising. Yeah, a lot of connections there. Because Trigger was
Space
Midori.
Patrol Luluko.
Midori. Yep. Okay. Yep. I remember now. So yeah, she doesn't do a whole lot. I'm looking. She really does not do a whole lot of voice acting. Naoto was voiced. Jun Mizuki did not do a whole lot. Dorime Sharp, yeah. Fooly Cooley, and she did 2 franchises, and that's it. Mimi Uzumi Kasagi.
Fooly Cooley's it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Eri Mika.
Wait,
I'm going to just look at Mika Ito is, Sword Art Online. Keion. Oh, okay, Satoshi.
Hey.
Oh, Aikyo. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, a lot of Keion roles here. She's multiple voices in Keion. Witchblade. Witchblade. Yeah, she's also not done a whole lot. I've seen a lot of voice actors in this. Simply seem to have done a lot. Yeah,
especially Canty.
Yeah, they seem to have
didn't get any voice.
Yeah, but most of these seem to have not done much of anything beyond this. That's interesting. But yeah, so as a whole, if you haven't seen it, which would be weird at this point, I think, go and watch it. I believe, unfortunately, it's not available on any streaming service. You have to buy it outright to watch it legally anyway. Because you'll watch Country Roll Fudge really cool. They only got Progressive and Alternative later. Maybe it's on Hulu, or is that just the later stuff again? Yeah, it's just they have the Hulu's got the shoegaze and grunge. Okay. Is it? I'm seeing on AdultSwim.com. Yeah, it looks like they have it on Adult Swim. But yeah, you have to. One is you have to sign in through existing provider, cable provider or something.
Oh, yeah.
I believe though it's available to outright purchase to watch on some websites. Though I have to. Well, you can get the complete series. It's not too bad. About $40.
That's not too bad.
$40. That's not too bad. 6 episodes though. Yeah, it's not horrible, but not ideal, but not horrible.
Yeah, but it is really good.
It's really good, so it's worth if you don't already haven't watched it already. But yeah, it's definitely worth watching because I'm not finding it very easily. Could have sworn I saw it on Google something to buy, but I don't know.
Yeah, those tend to fluctuate a lot, so you may have it beforehand and not anymore.
So anyway, if you can hunt it down, if you haven't already watched it, buy it or whatever, go watch it. The thing is, the later seasons are much easier to watch, so we'll probably talk about those later, but yeah. But beyond that, that's not really much else to say, I don't think.
Yep. I think I've got
basically,
it out,
it's really good and worth watching, but also hard to talk about in any real... I mean, it's one of the things that's hard to talk about in a short amount. I mean, if we watched each episode and talked about it individually, we might be able to get a lot out of it, but I prefer not to do that.
Yep.
That's not how we do things. Yeah. So, yeah. I guess that's it for this one. Relatively short, but...
short but sweet.
Kind of like that. Fully coolly.
Yep. Only 6 episodes.
Yeah. So that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can listen to other episodes of New to Weeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled LIBSYN. You could subscribe to the RSS link there if you want to, or click some buttons if you want to. Subscribe elsewhere, like on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, whatnot, or Amazon Podcasts. You can search for New to Weeaboo on those as well, or subscribe. If you want to contact us, you do so via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. You have questions or comments or anime recommendations or what have you, do it that way. And of course, you can follow us on our various social media. It's newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com/contact. It's all listed there. Co-host is going away, turns out. So that won't be around much longer. I'll keep updating that, but I believe this will be the last time we'll be able to update that one because they're going read only in October 1st, I believe. Yes. We're going to only October 1st, but the next time we will be releasing, we will not be able to put it on co-host. So this will be the last episode that'll show up on co-host.
Yep.
It was one of the many that popped up in the wake of Twitter's nonsense.
Yeah.
Muskian nonsense. Anyway, so that's it for this one. So tune in next time. It will be October, and we're going to kick that off with the Junji Ito collection.
Spooky time.
Yes, time for that whole thing.
Time for the spooky.
Time for skeletons.
Yay. Skeleton.
So we'll see you then. Hope your fall kicks off real well, because that's going to be a thing pretty shortly.
Yeah.
It's already cooling down around here. It's starting to rain more often.
Yeah.
So here we go.
School's starting out.
Yep. I'm aware. Because of my
I am
niece.
very aware. I work there.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see you in October, I guess.
We shall, hopefully.
Yep, so goodbye.
Bye.